I know it takes a lot of courage to speak out, but we're in the end game. Israel's kind of doing the work for us because it's just being so over the top, crazy racist, and just the mask is falling, and Israeli lawmakers and legislators are so confident of their power that they're making the most racist statements as if as if Hebrew is some secret code. No one knows what they're saying, but it's just all right there in the open. And so the problem is that all of our societies seem to be moving towards the right in some ways. And so even appealing to social justice is starting to become a dangerous proposition wherever you live in the world. It's like the pie is gradually shrinking. There's no more continents left to exploit, no more peoples left to enslave. And at this point, it's like when the pie isn't getting bigger anymore, that means like everyone's going to be fighting more fiercely to preserve their little slice of the pie. So sometimes I fear that no matter how much we expose it, it'll fall on deaf ears if people are forced to contend with their own survival. And that's why what I call upon people to do most often when they ask me what they think they can do, of course, stop supporting the system. Urge people to end military and financial support for the state of Israel. Of course, pass around this information by me and other whistleblowers, but also what I urge people most of all is fight for your own communities, improve your own communities, fight for social and racial justice in your own communities, because what happens in Israel is whenever I'm reporting about this stuff or others are reporting, then people will say, well, what about Syria? Well, what about Saudi? As if the existence of racism and the existence of oppression in other countries is somehow a relief to me. Does that make my life any better? Does that make me experience less racism? No, it doesn't make me feel a little bit better in the slightest. But the problem is that as the world gets worse, then Israel is able to say, aha, it's slightly worse there, or it was slightly worse then, so don't come to us with complaints. Now, of course, it's a ridiculous line of argumentation, but I feel we need to undercut it. The most good you can do is in your own community, because that's where you have the most leverage. I believe that people should be using their skill sets to do what they do best, and work where they have the most leverage, generally in their own communities, whatever that looks like. And so if you fight to make your community better, then it will provide an inspiration to us. Instead of being like, at this point, we're not a light into the nations, we're a blight into the nations, and it's like there's a race to the bottom. Instead of saying, oh, we're committing a human rights violation, but they're committing a worse one, it just encourages everyone to race to the bottom. But if you, in your own communities, can improve them, then that will be a shining example to us, and it'll be a race to the top. We will aspire to emulate you and the communities that you build. So spread the word, and don't participate, and fight for your own communities.